Hi there, I'm Kelly Dean from the Tummy Team, and we're going to talk to you today about online functional pelvic floor rehab. And if this maybe is the missing link to the care that you've been getting or been trying to get for your pelvic floor. So pelvic floor dysfunction is pretty common, and it is pretty much mistreated, undertreated, or ignored. And why do I say that? Because if you think about stuff like, wetting your pants when you cough or you sneeze, a lot of times most women just kind of laugh that off and just kind of like, oh, that just happens sometimes. There's a lot of things that we have considered common, and therefore we think that they're normal, and common and normal is not the same thing. So if you are experiencing any kind of stress incontinence or urge incontinence, which means that you are wetting your pants when you don't mean to, either with a laugh, a jump, a sneeze, when you're running, when you're yelling, or you just can't get to the bathroom in time, that is a sign of pelvic floor dysfunction. If you have any heaviness or bulging in your vaginal canal, prolapse symptoms, heaviness, bulging, boggy feeling, any of that kind of stuff, or you've been told that you have some prolapse symptoms, that is also something not to be ignored. That is a form of pelvic floor dysfunction. If you have pain with intimacy, any type of pain with intimacy or disconnect with intimacy, that is a form of pelvic floor dysfunction. If you have pelvic pain at your pubic bone, your tailbone, your sit bones, your SI joint, anything around your pelvis or around your pelvic floor, any of that kind of pain, that is a form of pelvic floor dysfunction. And if you have chronic constipation, that can be a form of pelvic floor dysfunction. So things that a lot of us kind of think, oh, this is just part of maybe a byproduct of motherhood or of getting older as a woman, or when I just work out really hard, I have some of these symptoms. And we can kind of dismiss what's going on until things get severe, extreme, and then we go straight into panic mode. And I don't want you to be in the panic mode, okay? I want you to recognize that all of these dysfunctions, even when they're mild or minor, have a significant impact on your real life. They impact what you do and what you choose to do and how you choose to do those things. And it's also your body's way of communicating to you that something's not quite right. There's a muscle imbalance, there's a weakness, or there's a tightness, or there's a poor coordination or a poor connection to some of the structural parts of your body that hold your organs together. And what I need you to recognize is that this is beyond Kegels and biofeedback. This is being connected to the structural and postural way that your pelvic floor functions. Your pelvic floor is not a squeeze toy. It's not a fist that needs to be doing this all the time. It is actually a trampoline that holds your organs up and supports your sphincters and supports your internal organs and stabilizes and gives structure and dynamic control to your pelvis, which allows you to walk and squat and jump and lift and run and do all of those things. All right. So when we look at the Tummy Team, we have a functional pelvic floor rehab approach, which is done upright mostly. We start out connecting to your core. We work on helping you understand the anatomy of your body, how your posture and alignment affects that anatomy, how the muscles of your pelvic floor were designed to function, why they might not be working that way, how to identify compensation patterns and muscle imbalances that your body may have started using to help you survive in weakness or after an injury or some kind of trauma to your pelvic floor, and then giving you practical strategies that you implement in your real everyday life to help to restore and repair and revive your pelvic floor so that it functions the way it was intended. Okay, and it was intended to function well into our 60s, 70s, and 80s without falling apart. Okay, and surgery isn't necessarily the answer. And more squeezing and clenching is not the answer. Understanding how those muscles work and understanding how to implement those muscles in the things that you're already doing is how we approach the pelvic floor rehab. And it might be the missing link for you. So I would love for you to check out our online programs. Check out atthetommyteam.com. Look for floor of your core, because the pelvic floor muscles are actually the floor of your core. And they have a job to do, and we want to help you understand how that works and give you strategies to be successful. All right, so check out our Floor of Your Core program, and we would love to help you be strong for the life you were meant to live.